Happy Saturday from my hometown here in Chesapeake, Virginia. And I am so excited to be with you this morning and share this walk. I'm going to show you, this is Oak Grove Lake Park in Chesapeake. And it is where I take a ton of inspiration. This is the park where I have come many times when it's time to make a big change in my life. There's something about coming back to your roots that inspires reflection, regeneration, and renewal. 3 or 4 summers ago, I think it was 4 summers ago, I came here and spent a month. I could work from wherever at that time. When I was in the social enterprise, I could work from any location, and that summer I was feeling particularly down and hopeless in terms of some of the things I wanted to accomplish in life. So I came and stayed with my dad and spent a whole month of July here. And many days I would come and walk this loop. It's a 1.5 mile loop around the lake. It's shaded, as you can see, very pretty, very picturesque, and more than anything, very tranquil for me. And so this is the place that I've come. It's the touchstone of my life, is to come to this park and really take some time to ponder and reflect and to draw inspiration from nature. I was watching some of the Facebook comments last night, and several people were talking about how they take inspiration from being in nature. And I do. Oh my goodness. It is so invigorating to my soul to unplug from the world and to come here and just hear and experience God's creation. Breathe the fresh air. Experience the contrast of light and dark through the sun coming through the leaves. To be here and experience a sunrise or a sunset is just magical. And so the topic for today is, taking that inspiration, finding those places where you can draw inspiration from, but not just to be drawing it into yourself, but to be sharing it with others. I've heard recently, I came across a couple of different authors and principles that talks about, we can take in a lot of knowledge, we can take in a lot of information, we can take in finances, we can take in all these things, but as humans, and the way God created this world is that we just can't be takers, we have to be givers. And so if you think about respiration, the whole way we exchange oxygen and oxygen, take in oxygen and breathe out, and then that compound feeds the plants and they breathe back out oxygen. That's the way creation was built, is that we take in and we give out, and in doing so it creates a virtuous loop in our life experience. And so when we're going through change, sometimes we just want to take in and take in and take in more information and more references and more input from others, instead of also just releasing what we've learned back out to others. And that's what Walking with Winston is fundamentally about. This is my attempt to share, to breathe out the things that inspire me, and I hope will inspire and encourage you. Last night was night 1 of our 40th high school reunion, and so we had a happy hour at a facility owned by a fellow Wildcat, And it was so wonderful to experience the transformation of people over 40 years. And I, talked to, dozens and dozens of people last night, some of whom I was really close to in high school, and some that I knew and was friendly with, but hadn't spent tons and tons of time talking with before. And to a person, it was so nice to experience their lives through their eyes and to understand how we all have gone from the people we were in high school to the giving, loving, generous people that I experienced last night. It was fun. People would share stories about what we remembered about each other, and people and other friends that we had once known and not seen in a while, and trying to figure out what's happened to them and what's up with them. But the main thing I remember from the conversations last night was, almost to a person, people talked about how uncertain they were, how fearful they were, how shy they were, how, all lots of limitations that we had on ourselves as teenagers and young adults that have transformed over the years based upon our experiences. To give you an example, one person was talking about how shy they were in high school and how lack of confidence they had, and now they've raised a family, they have started a business, they have worked in a line of work for 30 years and have accomplished great things. But what I loved and appreciated about it was how settled, how comfortable people were in their own skin. It's a real blessing of this stage of life. That is, the older we get, the more free we become. At least that's the way it feels to me right now. And I want more and more of that freedom. I know you do too. And we're at a stage of life that we can mentor and share our life experiences with others. So to my fellow classmates who are watching this, I encourage all of us to share, lay bare those life experiences. Younger generations that follow behind us only see the results of all this work, this life work. They don't necessarily understand all the struggle that we've been through. They see the front stage experience of, the possessions we have or the lifestyle we live, and they don't understand all the struggle it took to get to that place. And yet, it's the struggle that has really gotten us to this place today. So as we draw inspiration from others, I think it's our duty. I believe it's our duty to share it with others as well. We can really inspire the next generation and show them that life isn't just handed to us. Life is a result of the journey that we've walked on. So as you think about change, I think one of the reasons that we fear change and struggle with change is that it's hard for us to imagine that result. It's hard for us to embrace that result because it seems so far and distant away. And yet this is a journey, one step at a time. And I draw a lot of inspiration from my mentors and leaders, and I certainly appreciate it when they have shared their struggles with me. That same summer, a year later, I came back to this park for another round of contemplation, and at that point I began to take action on changing something very significant in my life. I remember spending some time with my dad, and I've always admired and looked up to my dad. He seems to be very confident. I just idolized him. I couldn't believe all the things that he could do with his hands and how he could make things from his imagination, and it would be there in physical form. And he talked about his struggles early in his life and how many jobs he had during the season that he moved the family to Miami when I was very young. And when he shared those struggles, I felt a bond with him that has just grown stronger and stronger. I really respected him and what he accomplished even more, because I now understood the sacrifice and struggles that he went through. So let's not make, as we share our lives with younger generations behind us, they see the shiny accomplishments, but they don't always appreciate the struggles that we've been through. And as we begin our change, our transformation personally, whatever area of life we're about to launch into, let's take a stock of where we are right now. Let's memorialize that struggle. Let's not forget that pain that is going to propel us into this new transformation. It'll give us a much deeper appreciation as we come through this change and we step into this new season of life. So draw inspiration, share inspiration, and do it in a way that lets people know that we're just a few steps ahead of them. We don't have it all figured out. We don't have all the answers. We're on the same path of growth and transformation that they are. With that, you guys have a great Saturday. Yay. And for the Wildcats of class of 78, I look forward to seeing you tonight with our boogie shoes. Have fun. See you later. Bye.